What's up, guys? I actually don't sleep in snapbacks, but I do walk about in them, and I just thought I'd keep it on before I go to bed. But I've written a new poem for you all, and it's only 8 lines, which is really short, but every word really means something. And when you're an accomplished poet, you have to really look at the necessity of each word, and you think, well, is that comma needed? Is that word really needed? Is that you have to look at it all as a whole, and I certainly think that these 8 lines sum up my childhood. The abuse, the neglect, the suffering, the anger that still remains, and I called the poem "I Was Murdered" because I've written a few poems. I've written a collection, a lot of called Broken Doll. And one of the poems is called, obviously, the same Broken Doll. But I don't feel broken. There's a finality to being murdered. You can't come back from the dead. I don't believe in resurrection. You can't come back from the dead. Broken implies you can be fixed. And I don't feel like that's possible from my childhood. I feel like that was stolen from me. I feel like it was murdered. It was brutal. They abused me. They murdered it. And it's not just that. It's the everlasting effects of that, such as my dad doesn't get any mental health support. Ex-veteran, he goes without help. He's suicidal. He suffers, and obviously your own parents' suffering impacts on your suffering. So it isn't just me that suffered. I've lost various people in my life to suicide because there isn't any help, and it's shocking. But anyway, enough talking. I'm going to read it now. Let me know what you think in the description, comments. I'll have a little talk about it afterwards again. But yeah, I'll read it now. And thank you for watching the video so far. I was murdered. I was murdered in 2006. There were no witnesses. It was just me. My heart, my soul, my tired eyes witnessed a girl killed, robbed of humanity. The police didn't do much as usual. A few papers to sign, their eyes all glued to the ground. Because when a malleable, broken person screams, they always choose not to hear the sound. Yeah, that sums it up. That sums it up. It does, it sums it all up. It sums it all up. It does. People did not want to admit it, what I went through. I was trapped in the system I was locked up at 12 years old. And I was kept locked up until I was, 19? That's like 7 years. That's most of your childhood. And then what's even worse is when I got out, when I was struggling, I didn't have a mum. My mum's a paranoid schizophrenic. I think she's a class A drug user. I don't know. I don't even know if she's alive. So I didn't have my mum. I was institutionalised, and imagine all the troubles. No family support because my dad got his own problems. I was given a really shitty flat with had fucking rats in it that didn't even have electric sometimes. That I was literally next to drug users, and I felt unsafe. And I was really struggling, and I attempted suicide a few times properly, and I got arrested for having a knife in public because I used a knife at one point to do a suicide attempt, which was that one, which I cut all the way through my arm, right up. I wanted to die, and they did not do anything. They took me to court, and I was put in prison for about 3 weeks because I had a knife. That's the system. You will go to jail. You will be reprimanded. You will have criminal convictions for asking for help. Now that's the UK. Another example. When I was thinking, right, that's it. I'm gonna keep ringing the crisis line as it's meant for, to say, look, I'm in a crisis. Can you come and basically help me? Do you know what I mean? I'm really struggling. Do you know what they did? They took me to court and they got me £180 fine, and it was harassment. They said I rang too much, and that's here. That's on one of these conviction letters. where is it? One of them, harassment of mental health service on the 16th of July 2017. That's the shambles. That's the system. You know, there isn't any help, and that's what I'm so passionate about fighting for, because it has a knock-on effect. It has a domino effect on people. You know, it's not just one person. It affects everybody. It's like a ring of, you know, it's like I said, the domino effect. You know, one person gets ill, and then the other person really suffers because of that person, and the next person. It's important. It's so important. I mean, I have a lust for life. I want to live. I see the beauty in life, but I do feel a lot. I feel very strongly, and I know that my dad is not getting the mental health support he needs, and with severe depression, PTSD, you need it. It's not something you can just forget about, you know, and it gets worse, and, you know, he struggled, and it weighs me down knowing that my only parent suffers day in, day out. That's what I have to live with. MPs, social services, crisis teams. I mean, I ring the crisis team. Like I said, I've told you what they've done to me in terms of my dad. They go to his house. They say, well, you seem okay. You're not dying, basically. You know, you'll be fine, and that's it. I think there's some level of deliberate narcissism and deliberate evil in the mental health teams. I think they deliberately push people to suicide. I do. Like I said, I had a brother and he took his life. I had a good friend that took a life, and I had another good friend that was a man, took his life. All in the same city. So that tells you something about where I grew up, which is Hull. And it also tells you a lot about the UK and the lack of care and compassion. Thank you for listening. It's been a long video. But, you know, it's the truth. Mental health services in the UK destroyed my childhood, and they also robbed me of a lot of possibilities. They robbed me of going out to certain countries because I can't go abroad now due to my convictions. It robbed me of getting house insurance because I don't know if you know this, but without a criminal, you can't get a house, a mortgage if you've got a criminal record. They've stopped me from all sorts. Getting one of the jobs what I always wanted to do. I actually wanted to go into actually wanted to be a therapist, but I'm not allowed. So they've fucked me up in various ways, but you know, I still remain, and I'm strong, and I've got every knowledge that I'm going to be a famous author. And thank you for listening, and you know, please don't vote please, whatever you do, don't vote for the Torez. You know, please stand up for better mental health services in the UK, and please keep in your heart that many people are suffering in the UK, not getting the help they need, and losing family and friends. You know, it's important. Put hashtag we deserve better or hashtag never give up, because it's important that we all stick together and never give up. It's been Michelle. Thank you for listening. Bye.